effective altruism and the giving what we can pledge are this idea to give up to 10% of your income in order to help those in need. If you can. And that's the big thing, if you can. If you don't think that GrownUps 2 is the best movie ever made, then you're wrong. GrownUps 2 is this really cool movie. A sequel to GrownUps 1, and it's about all of the people from GrownUps 1 moving back to their hometown, and that includes Adam Sandler. They called him Hollywood in the first movie because he lived in LA, but he's back, and all of them are back, and it's this idea of them like living in their hometown as adults and experiencing it in a new perspective. A lot of people don't like it though, which is surprising, but the rationale is that you're giving money to these people because they're lazy or they're not deserving or they don't work hard for it. But I think that's the wrong mindset. I like to think that we're giving money to these people to help them out because they were given less at birth or because they faced hardships, and that's everything that everyone experiences, and I think we can all empathize with. Rich, poor, young, wealthy, and even different races. GrownUps 2 has got it all. They even have that funny black family that's kind of stereotypical, not really, kind of go back and forth on that, but they got it all. And the black family, they got that line, what? But some people don't like it, some people do. It's all on your preference. But one thing GrownUps 2 does not have is Rob Schneider. Thank goodness. And you know what? I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, but what if that 10% puts me under the poverty level? And you just need to remember that this is the giving what we can pledge. And it's the idea that we will give 10% if we can in order to foster this equality, make the world a better place, and help fight poverty, right? And it's really 80 movies in one, because each scene of GrownUps 2 is a completely different scene, completely disjoint from the rest of the movie. You can walk into any scene and have a total idea of what's going on, because honestly, it kind of is just like random stuff. And it's kind of unique, Not a whole lot of comedies do that, where the entire movie is just separated into 80 smaller movies. Now imagine yourself walking into your house, sitting down, and watching as homelessness, unemployment, and the wealth gap shrinks. And while all this is happening, it's fostering this culture of acceptance, because we're breaking down these stereotypes of poor Americans, but especially poor minority Americans, who a lot of America does not believe are good people, especially at this time in our country. but that's all right. That's why we need effective altruism. But time and time again, you'll find yourself laughing on the floor, because GrownUps 2 will just do that. It starts strong. Adam Sandler's in his bed, tells his wife, open the window, and then a moose pees on his face, and he keeps his mouth open the whole time, which is kind of weird, but that's just Adam Sandler for you. But then we go meet Shaq, have some famous people in the movie, a must-in Adam Sandler film. We meet Shaq. He's a horrible cop, terribly horrible cop, always shooting his gun up in the air and driving dangerously and giving unallowed escorts, but that's totally fine, because again, it's an Adam Sandler movie. And at one point, favorite scene in the movie, Shaq grabs David Spade and throws him over a house. Literally throws him over a house. Horrible CGI, but hilariously funny. I think it did the job very well. And GrownUps 2 is a sequel, and you know how I feel about sequels. Always better than the originals, because that meant in the original one, they hired a bunch of random people, but now in the sequel, they fired all the bad people, hired back all the good people, hired even better people down to go alongside them. And you know what they say, 2 is twice as great as 1. And you know what? I've never heard a single person say that effective altruism is capitalism, because it really isn't. Effective altruism is just like the military, just like the police departments, and the fire departments, and highway maintenance, and social security. It's just using the common money for the common good, to help America, to help the world, to help those in need. And a lot of people say that's evil, or unconstitutional, or fascist. You wouldn't believe how many times, but 52 times last year, actually. But hopefully I can see GrownUps 2 at least every day this year. It's got Taylor Lautner from Twilight. It's got Alexander Ludwig, who's actually Cato from the Hunger Games. if you think about it, it's kind of a sci-fi flick then, you know? And I like to think that it transcends all genders. And that's why it's one of the best movies of all time. No, the best movie of all time. Please, if you have any comments, comment below and I'll get back to you if Collider Quiz ever tells me to.